tribe. Oh yeah, but bringing up Pringles and this tribe thing raises a good point. You know, like I've been all over the world and I have eaten some weird shit. I mean, I've had whale, I've had dog, I've had scorpions and horse and squid ink and half-hatched sparrows and bugs and all kind of crazy stuff. But to 99% of the world, like we are the ones that eat weird stuff because whether it's an egg or a bug or a weird part of an animal, like they still know where that came from. But like what is really weird to most people in the world is like a Hot Pocket or a Pringles. They're like, what in the hell is this made out of? Or like, what is in this pastry pocket, like Hot Pocket thing? Like we eat so much stuff that is not identifiable as to where it came from. Everybody else in the world thinks that is really weird. Like eating a horse or a whale, like they know exactly where that thing came from. But you try to give them a Pop-Tart and they're like, what is this? Like, what is it? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
That we eat the weird stuff compared to most of the people in the world.
For sure.
That makes sense.
I had
will be like, oh, where's that horse
Mexico?
come from? Oh, the horse comes from that field where we killed the horse. It's like, oh, where does that ingredient from a Hot Pocket come from? It's like, well, it starts by emulsifying petroleum runoff waste and spinning it in a centrifuge, adding, the acid until it becomes kind of edible. And it's like, yeah, but it tastes good.
Kyle and Taylor, have you guys had bugs, like prepared bugs, grasshoppers or larvae or whatever? No,
I think
not at all.
Bugs.
It was 0% surprising. Somehow, no, they're not. Christopher, you're lying to my audience. And I won't
they are good. They are good. Crickets and mealworms kind of taste like sesame sticks. Like bugs are kind of nutty tasting, except ants are like bugs that bite and are a little tart a bit. But like what'll really blow your mind is like a spider, like a tarantula or a scorpion. Vaguely taste kind of like crab, like they're kind of arachnid style. So like you have to burn the hairs off of them, but they've got a vaguely kind of sweet kind of crab taste to them. They're actually not that weird.
Do you burn the hairs off, wrap it in like palm leaves or something, and steam it over a fire?
The ones I had been like burned off and dried, and they had them on sticks, and they were roasting them over like coals.
Yeah.
So they would kind of burn the hair off with the fire, kind of burn them off, and then they become like naked, and then they would just roast it. And
we know crab legs are expensive, Taylor.
Very much.
How much tarantula legs cost?
I guarantee they don't stack up to a nice
market value?
crab leg.
What's
I
market
would
price
pay
on?
to never have to try one. That's my market.
Really?
value.
You wouldn't want to try a tarantula leg if it was on the menu?
they're kind of.
I don't like
crunchy.
spiders.
I mean,
I don't want to be around them. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to eat them. I don't want to feel it's because not every bit of the hair is going to burn off. You're going to feel a little like prick here and there of hair on the. It sounds awful.
I don't know. When I ordered the grasshoppers, they seemed to be unprepared. They tasted exactly like I expected grasshoppers to taste. I thought they would be masked by like cinnamon or something, but that's not how they made grasshoppers at all. They just put them on a plate. Before I ordered the grasshoppers, and you guys know this because I was on WhatsApp texting you at the time from Mexico, I ordered ant larvae. And they were out of ant larvae, I guess. So Jason's like, did they check under the trash cans out back? Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I got the grasshoppers, and they were just tasted like regular. They were like cooked, but they didn't seem to be seasoned or anything. They were just grasshoppers. I couldn't finish my plate. For some reason, so the way that you ate it is you got a little tortilla, you filled it with grasshoppers, smeared some like avocado on it, and tried it.
And then drank a very strong bourbon immediately after.
Dude, I took a bite and it was like, I don't know why I expected this to be good. It was so grasshoppery. It was clearly just bugs in a tortilla.
Well, that's what it was. Like I know you can't get the picture, but you sent the photo of the little tortilla you made. Very good looking tortilla, but it had like 4 fat grasshoppers in it. And then like, you know how like guacamole is usually applied? It's like, oh, a little flavor enhancer. Like the amount that Woody put in that taco was like, we're going to blast through these with the power of avocados. Like just a huge, like you just like emptied half a toothpaste in there of avocado.
Yeah, I get this image. I was a little kid. I hated eggplant. My mother would make these eggplant dishes, right? And I have to eat them as a kid. And I would do it by like eat it with a big like mouthful of rice and chase it with water, or with milk rather, as a kid. And I'm just imagining Woody doing this with the grasshoppers. But like, why? Like,
I
when
sent
in Rome.
pictures via Discord. There should be I have fucked this up. I thought I sent an image.
Here we go.
Okay.
Zach got it.
Okay, yeah. So that's the grasshopper.
Hard to make out from here. Like,
No, I'm seeing it. They look more like crickets.
Oh,
It
that's the
look-
thing.
oh.
You got hoodwinked. He's
Yeah,
nothing more than
now.
a common cricket.
now that does look exactly like a burrito full of bugs.
See,
Like
that's
if you
that's
weren't
a cricket
expecting this and
taco.
you opened your burrito, like you'd ordered a burrito somewhere and it's like a steak burrito or something. You open it up, you'd be like, what the fuck? But this okay.
Is there cheese you can put on it? Like, are they helping you with other ingredients?
You-
Yeah, maybe some salsa.
Hey,
something.
Can you show the other link, Zach?
Mhm.
This is the plate that it was served on. He usually needs a second to show.
Yeah, I
it.
like that presentation.
I'm excited to hear.
I like that he made that fancy little arrow with the zigzag on the end, and then he threw a bunch of fucking cockroaches on his face.
Dude,
When
that's
it got- Out of the
That's
corner of my
disgusting.
eye, I thought one of them jumped or moved or something. Like it must have fallen.
Woody, what if you call the waiter and be like, "Excuse me, I don't want to cause a stink, but there's a hair in my cockroach."
Excuse me, there's a hair in my pile of bugs.
I even after seeing it, I thought that they would be like seasoned or
That's so
something in such
funny.
a way. It was literally just a plate full of bugs that I put on a Tostito. I ate the entire Tostito. I was afraid that I would look back at myself having had like a single bite of grasshopper and not really like, experienced Mexico.
Yeah.
Taylor, you know what the waiters were saying in the back as they watched Woody eat the whole thing.
Yeah, we only have this on there to make this place seem authentic. That's fucking gross.
I've never seen anyone eat the whole thing. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine the whole point of it seems like you like countered or found out the counter to that, but how on earth could you just eat bugs regularly without dousing it in cayenne or something to make you forget you're eating bugs?
Right?
Like it's
Yeah, but to most people in the world, though, eating bugs is just normal. Like it's not any weirder than us eating a Kit Kat or a Reese's cup. It's just something normal.
it's a little weirder.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, no weirder than cutting random bits off of a pig or a chicken or something.
Well,
see, but we
pick the parts we want.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Because if
exactly.
you showed up to a bug eating country and you were like, everyone, you want bugs today or pork chops? They're going to be like, oh, pork chops are available? Oh, then no, thank you, want bugs. Like, whereas here, if they were like, hey, you got those pork chops, I got a big bowl of maggots, it's be like, no, you're not going
I was
to fool
always
me.
turned off
You're
by
not
that
going
protein
to
powder.
swindle me.
You can
Yeah.
buy bug protein powder. It's
Oh.
made of bugs.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's super high in protein. I mean, they're from a nutritional standpoint, bugs are pretty good.
It's hard to beat whey, but
I
yeah.
saw a
Way's great.
YouTube video where this guy was interviewing not an uncontacted tribe, but like, I don't know how to describe a tribe that has no association with like the rest of the world, an isolated Brazilian tribe.
Yeah.
And he was asking questions like, what's the meaning of life? What is true happiness? And the answers to both were like, meat. Meat is the meaning of life. What's true happiness? Bringing back a monkey. It was like that. Those are their answers.
Fuck.
I mean, that would be kind of nice. Like if your hierarchy of needs is so empty that you're stuck at like the getting enough food and water. You don't even have the energy or time to be like, what am I here for?
They did have
What
visible
does it
abs.
mean? Yeah,
They
they're
had
just
visible abs.
shredded,
They were
looking
hungry.
for bugs in the woods,
That
eating
That man
monkeys.
eats monkey.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to contribute to the Reese's peanut butter conversation at all.
No. Although that's a fun set of videos too. The guy goes to not uncontacted tribes, but African villages that seem to be very impoverished and gives
Yeah,
them
that's
like
the norm.
Twizzlers or Jolly Ranchers and stuff like that, like American candies. And they're always just usually they love it. I like Gushers, Gushers are the gummy candy with the
Ooh,
juice
good stuff.
inside. The
Mhm.
lady was like, it is a fruit juice inside. It is wonderful. And it's just so, he's like, would you like another? And she's like, yes, may I? And she's like, you can fuck this chick for gummies right now, dude. She seems into it. Like how big of a bag you got?
Yeah.
It's
Dude, if I
interesting
were
to
that
see
person, I
people-
would show up with so many. So I wouldn't want to like give them a taste of Gushers. Like I would want to have so much that I was like
does.
making their week, where it's like
Yeah,
boom,
he
pallet of Gushers, huge thing of beef jerky, a bunch of PlayStation 1s, the portable kind, all charged up so they can get a little bit of gaming in.
I saw
So
this
batteries
Reddit thread
gone.
where they asked guys, what is the silliest thing you've ever been called gay for? And one of them is like, I've been called gay for using an umbrella. Another guy was called gay for wearing glasses. And I'm guilty of this. I think eating gushers is a little gay. They kind of explode in your mouth.
Yeah, but flavorfully, not with like semen. Like
it's a little gay. Come on.
No, it is not gay to eat gushers. All right, well then I guess we're all gay then, Woody. How do you like?
I've always thought
I guess
the gay
Kyle and I are
candy-
gay.
The gay candy is those cherry cordials, and so it's if you don't know, it's a chocolate covered cherry, and on the base, obviously, because the chocolate settles there, it's this flat, thicker piece of chocolate, and it's filled with cum. I can only imagine some sort of sweet semen that they fill it with. It's white and creamy and viscous,
So
and
it's
it's just
cherry
inexplicably cherry
sugary,
and
gooey slime, and then chocolate.
Yeah, it's like the Pillsbury Doughboy busted a nut in there. There it is.
They are fantastic, and I never thought of them as gay. Although I'll agree with you.
I don't think those are that great.
I feel mildly violated, but it's worth it every time.
I think you're giving.
It even looks like a penis. It looks like an uncut penis, like right.
I see
the
it.
top of them.
Right. So speaking of inappropriate food deliveries, Cal, growing up in North Georgia, there you have probably been to the Elbert County Fair.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember the thing with it was like you would get like a hot dog and it was like udders with like kind of a big penis shaped thing, and you had to like stroke it to like get the mustard and the mayonnaise and the ketchup out.
I went as a child, so I may have been shielded from those things.
It was pretty disturbing. It's like you go to the hot dog stand, they've got this like hanging sack of ketchup with like a nipple, and you just have to like kind of stroke the nipple to like squish out. It was so disturbing. Like it was like milking a cow with the cow full of mustard and ketchup. I was like, who thought of this?
Ferris wheel.
Oh my God. It was weird, man. But I tell you what, the craziest things about eating weird stuff. So I grew up on the other side of Georgia, over on the west side of Georgia. And at our county fair, you could get a stick of deep fried butter. They would freeze a stick of butter with like a corn dog stick, like freeze it, and then flash fry it like, corn dog batter, put a bunch of salt and pepper and paprika on it. And there'd be whole families just walking. There it is. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing you came up with that picture so quickly. So so you were like milking that thing to get the condiments onto your hot dog.
I bet it's
but anyway,
so filthy.
There'd be like, oh yeah, just everybody's hand, every single hand all day. Just
Kyle, hurry up, and he's like, the ketchup won't finish.
Imagine the one guy doing it right, the mayonnaise right into his mouth, making eye contact. I'm almost finished.
Oh my God!
Almost.
But yeah.
Did you ever have a deep fried butter stick?
I did. It was a lot of butter, but just entire families just walking hand in hand, just eating a stick of butter. And I was like, this is maybe the most American thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I tried a stick of butter. Like my heart started hurting halfway through it. I had to bail out. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know how many calories that is, but I'm guessing it's over 1,000. That sounds awful, but
it was a lot. It was
deep
a lot.
fried candy bars are so goddamn good. Like, it sort of melts whatever it is. Like you wouldn't think an Oreo could melt, but when you deep fry an Oreo, the inside of it sort of melts, and it's just got that delicious pancake batter on the outside, dusted with sugar. It's one of the tastier things you'll ever have. It's such like decadence, and they deep frying a candy bar. It's a hat on a hat in a lot of ways, but it's still really good.
There's something I make when I have a party is I'll make chocolate covered bacon.
Ooh.
And that is some goodness you never had. Just take like some of that thick bacon, cook it on like a bacon press, leave about an inch or two where you can hang on to it, and just dip it in like bacon chocolate and dry it out on some wax paper, a little bit of salt on it. Man, it is like sweet and savory and chocolatey. I had some one time, and I had this old biker buddy of mine. He's real serious, kind of gruff guy. And he was pretty skeptical. He was like, man, that's wrong, man. You shouldn't have done that, ruined some good bacon. I was like, try a bite, then tell me. He's like, I ain't even putting it in my mouth. It's wrong. So he finally he concedes, and he takes a bite, and he kind of thinks about it for a second. He's like, this is fucked up to be this good. Yeah. And then ever since then, he's like, hey, can you come over and bring some of that bacon? He's been an addict ever since, man. Chocolate covered bacon's the way to go.
I bet maple would be good too. I always talk about it, but the first time I did acid, the only time I did acid, we got these maple bacon donuts. And so that sort of just melted into my brain forever as the most delicious thing that I've ever tasted. Just maple and bacon was so fucking good.
That would be good. There's one of the food trucks down at Bike Week sells a cheeseburger, but it's got Krispy Kreme donuts instead of buns. And man, it's same thing. It's probably 30,000 calories, but it tastes so good. Maybe not.
Are we the only country that does that? Because whenever I see that kind of shit on the Food Network,
like the most,
it's only here.
Yeah, I've really never seen. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff in markets and stuff, but nobody really gets off on like bastardizing food like we do, like just taking things that should not go together. Most countries are pretty traditional, like they don't have a lot of preservatives in their food. Like if you go to, like, even in England, like if you go to a grocery store in England and get some produce or some bread, like you better eat that shit in like 72 hours because it's going to turn green on you. Like our stuff lasts forever, but like most countries, they don't do the preservatives. They don't get those kind of goopy things. And also, like, most countries don't deal with the intensity of flavor that we do. Now, like hot countries, like hot cultures tend to have a lot of spicy food because it induces sweating. Kind of, you can literally cool off eating some hot pepper somewhere. And you look at a lot of the cuisines around the equator, they tend to be spicy like that. But like most places, though, their food is not as salty. It's not as sweet. Even if you get the same label, like when I moved to England the last time for the show, I found some of that Lipton peach tea I like so much at the convenience store, and I got a bottle, but it was like half of the sweetness and peach that we get here.
Dude,
like
it's so funny you mentioned the preservatives, because usually we just eat all the food in the house and it gets gone. It usually doesn't go rotten on the shelf or anything. I think like it's kind of poor planning, or you left it out or something. So I really don't know when bread goes bad because I usually eat it before it goes bad, right? I go through the bread. I was going to make hamburgers maybe 2-3 months ago. I made one hamburger. Rest of the buns have been sitting on that fucking counter for, like I said, like 90, 100 days or something. And I've been looking at them every day. And I'm like, turn the bag over, no mold. I got one out last night. I like smelled it. I like looked all over it. I took a bite. It's as fresh as it was 100 fucking days ago when I opened it. Yep. Tortillas are even more ridiculous. I threw tortillas away when I moved a couple months ago because I just couldn't fathom that they could still be good, but they were. They had been opened in my pantry for 8 months. Not an exaggeration. 8 months. They had been in there. Open them up, get a tortilla out one night, slice it up, make some fucking chips or whatever I do with it. 8 months it's been in there. I'm like, it can't be good. It can't still be good. Do they never go bad? I don't think tortillas go bad as long as you don't like
Not in America.
As long as you don't spit on them or something.
But if you went to like Mexico, it'd be like a couple days later, and it'd be like
a real flour tortilla.
Rotten. Yeah,
tortilla. Oh, it'd go bad in like 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. Like a lot of our preservatives are illegal, like in Europe.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's probably why we're all so young and beautiful looking. But yeah, there's some things that we eat that are just not allowed.
You look really good for your age. You said you're almost 50. I would have thought you were like late 30s or something.
Well, I appreciate that. It's all the preservatives I've been eating all these years.
Yeah,
I'll be 50.
We're preserved, and our ladies have huge tits. You know, I like the hormones and preservatives. It's the best of both worlds. The American way is going to be the global way.
I think so. It definitely makes it last. But yeah, I'll be 50 a week from today, actually. So yeah, it's all those preservatives and all the antibiotics and the cheap chicken I eat. But yeah, thank you. But a food that does last a long time is honey. Will last pretty much indefinitely. They have found honey like in like Egyptian tombs that are 4,000 years old, sealed up in a clay pot that is still edible. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's antibacterial, so its very nature is to resist going bad. You know, it's been used for wound treatment throughout history. Also, wine I read today is good for like 1,500 years. And you know how YouTube Shorts are? They show you this. Yeah, I got to the end of the 60-second video and I was like, but wait, answer the fucking questions you posed. Like what they
was it like in a sort of earthen vase looking type thing with the I think I saw the same short.
With like cloth on it. Yeah.
It looked like in a video game when you see one of those Egyptian vases in the corner all dusty, they take a knife first and stab it into the top like edge of this oval shaped vase and like pry up an earthen cap. And then there's leaves from who knows how long ago, layered, like I don't know what kind of leaves, but they're still greenish. They haven't, so they're clearly not oxidized down in the lower levels of the leaves, and maybe some sort of sap has been used or something. Yeah, and when they finally get it off, he takes a ladle and reaches in and pulls out some wine that looked fine to me. And then the video ends, and I'm like, "Bro, take a sip or fucking tell me how it tastes." Like,
that's a problem with you. Unless he died, maybe the wine killed him, and they just had the commercial.
It's a problem with YouTube Shorts. All right, that's another reason you're gay. That and your gushers.
Okay, fine. Then I'm gay.
Are there any foods that you legitimately find to be just a little gay to eat? I remember one time I was in Florida and it was a hot day, and I got a frozen chocolate covered banana, and I could not eat that bitch in the car without getting laughed at. And it was like, y'all are all hot too, and you wish you had this frozen chocolatey bit banana. And yeah, it looks like I'm sucking some dick over here, but let it go, children. Everybody in here's.
I have never felt gay
I wish I hadn't got
while eating.
Hurt my feelings.
What did you say, Taylor?
I said I've never felt gay while eating. Like I don't
about
think
feeling gay, about getting made fun of for looking gay because you're sucking a big old black chocolate.
I mean, maybe I put off an alpha's aura, but I'm never bullied when I'm eating. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Or maybe I'm smearing food all over my face and they don't want to pile on.
That's probably
y'all remember the comedian Mitch Hedberg? He passed away years ago. You remember that bit he had where he was all these great little non sequiturs, and they're like, "Hey Mitch, you want a frozen banana?" And he's like, "No, but I want a regular banana later." So yeah,
yes.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Later. I like that.
He had one about.
I don't want to just do his content. Look up Mitch Hedberg. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I like when he's ordering breakfast. He orders a chicken sandwich, but she misheard him, and she's like, "How do you want your eggs?" And he's like, "Incubated and raised in a farm and grown to market size and slaughtered and then cut up and grilled on a grill. Wait, this is going to take way too long. Scrambled."
What's the one-liner that always stuck with me from him, where he's like, "An escalator cannot break. It can only become stairs."
China proves him wrong.
Yeah,
it can become a bit of death.
The other day, I was in an airport somewhere. I'm in so many airports, I can't even remember now. But I was like, it was one of those like 5-story escalators that like gets you up from the subway, and it had died, and it was stairs. And I had my suitcase, and I literally like briefly thought about just leaving my belongings behind because I thought of lugging that suitcase up 5 stories on the escalator. I was like, man, I can't do it.
Have you seen the way they do stairs and escalators in China? Or maybe it's Japan. It's either Japan or China. But like, you know how often in like a subway or something, there will be the small escalator area and then the stairs in the middle and then the other down escalator on the other side. It'll show like an image on the ground of a fat person and be like an arrow pointing to the stairs from the fat person. And then a normal sized person and an arrow pointed to the escalator there. Like, I bet it's Japan. Japan does not play with fat shaming. They will come up to you on the street and oink at you, is my understanding.
Like, imagine, when's the last time you saw a fat Japanese person? Like you can't even picture what it would look like.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I feel like once they hit 40 or so,
sumo guys,
fat as fuck.
Yeah, those sumo wrestlers are pretty big.
Yeah, the sumo wrestlers are athletes, though.